It's Brooke and Chad, weekday mornings, 6 to 9 on Power 107.5 FM.
So, Chad, oh my goodness. I know the girls are not slime maniacs because they're older.
Yeah.
My niece, Nevaeh, is obsessed with slime. And oh my goodness, for a long while, she didn't rub off on Ren and still hasn't really, but she got him in a little tiny slime craze. And I couldn't empathize with my brother and sister-in-law about how insane it can get. But Walmart is going to be launching Nickelodeon-inspired ice cream. You know, the Nickelodeon slime?
Yeah.
On the show that they used to drop. Yes. It was huge in the 90s. So it's called, back then they did the slimed on their shows where it would drop down. So what they're going to do is Walmart is bringing some of that nostalgia back with Nickelodeon. They've joined together, come full circle for the Nickelodeon slime craze. And it's slime ice cream. It was supposed to have hit freezers at all Walmart locations yesterday. I need to go check this out, see if they have it at our local Walmarts. But because my niece would, go crazy. I want to take
She would love it.
Yes. The selections are low-fat vanilla ice cream cups swirled with green frosting and orange lemon lime frozen bars.
I love this.
Oh, my goodness. I do not. I mean, so 2 weeks ago, Ren came to me and said, Mom, can I play with this? It was a little package it looked like kinetic sand or like sand. It was like just a clear, sealed little baggie of orange powder, and it looked like kinetic sand to me. So I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, that's sand. He didn't correct me. Yeah. He goes home, puts it in a bowl while I'm kind of cleaning and straightening up in our kitchen floor, this big mixing bowl that I have with water and tons of clear glue. I didn't know what he was doing. I mean, because I'm cleaning, I go in to check on him and I'm like, what are you doing? It had spilled out, Chad. I slid harder and faster than a banana slip slide from the 80s. Like I went 90 miles per hour in the kitchen and was like, what in the world is this? And he was like, it's slime. You said I could play with it, which I did. And I was like, but I thought it was sand. He said, no, Mom, it's slime mixture. Cannot even deal.
Every kids event we used to have back, we would slime everybody we could.
Oh, y'all would pour it?
Yeah, we made a mixture of it. It was a mixture of the food coloring and oats and something else. And they would make it warm. They would heat it, and they would not like too hot.
Yeah.
But then
Did they love it?
Yeah. I mean, we would do it on the leaders, on the children's workers. And the kids would go crazy for it.
It's Brooke and Chad, weekday mornings, 6 to 9 on Power 107.5 FM.
So this is a very newsworthy story, I think. I think it's awesome. We don't ever hear about this stuff in the news.
Cool.
We never hear about this kind of stuff in the news, and I don't think that we report it enough. And I just want to share it. But living in the Bible Belt is no joke, we know, here in the U.S., especially in the South. But a Tennessee movie theater that sits directly across the street from a church, and it's also right next to an elementary school in Dixon County, changed the promotion of their movie to Heck Boy instead of Hellboy. The theater owner said that he wants to avoid putting up any words that can be seen as profanity or be used as profanity because of their location and where they are next to the church and school.
I think that's good. It's kind of funny a little bit. I mean, just a little bit. It reminds me of a story. Some friends that told us about some of their friends that their family, they'll drink root beer and they keep it in the fridge and it's just root beer. And so they don't call it root beer though. At their house, they call it root drink.
Yeah. We always called them stingers.
Stingers. Yeah.
Yes. My mama did. My mama and my mama team used to say, they call everything Coke and it's a good old stinger. But I love that root drink. Yeah. That's so hilarious. He said that the response that he did not expect the response. And, this is not why he did it, but he's gotten a lot of exciting and totally unexpected attention from it. This movie, by the way, grossed $19.8 million.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And I think it's a big deal that he made a stand. It's like I think it's an old country song that said, you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything.
Check out Brooke and Chad, weekday mornings, 6 to 9 on Power 107.5 FM.
So here's a story for you, Brooke. If you open a gate that's considered an invitation inside, right? So if I open the gate, it's like, hey, come on in. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So a man who lives in Lincoln, California, opened the gate to his garden and to look at some sheep, kind of get a closer look at some sheep that were gathered outside of it. He was soon overrun by the sheep. He caught it on video, and he opened the gate so his daughters could get a closer look at the animals to be real sweet, like a little mini petting zoo. And it turned into a stampede.
I love this.
They slowly started coming into his yard, and soon there were an estimated 200 sheep there.
I love this, Chad. I would dive on top. I mean, when I envision 200 sheep in my backyard right now, I think furry, soft cloud of happiness and goodness everywhere. I just want to lay on top of them, and I think Ren would love it too. I would get on our trampoline and like fall onto them
until they leave, and then they leave their sheep remains.
Then I would be sad. I would get their fur off the ground and be like, "Oh, how precious!" I would want to hold one.
I think the most bizarre part of this story, though, is to get them to leave. His wife, this man's wife, jumps on the trampoline and started playing the tambourine.
I bet she was doing it crazy.
She jumped on a trampoline and began to play the tambourine. It sounds like a Mother Goose story.
It really does. You are so hilarious.
200 sheep came in my yard. My wife jumped on the trampoline, began to play the trampoline.
You are so
and
crazy.
They left.
And then I bet she was going wild and dancing and jumping around. You know, she was doing it crazy, like
she was.
beating the
she was
fire
trying
out of
to
that
get
thing.
into a Mother Goose book.
You're so hilarious.
It's Brooke and Chad, weekday mornings, 6 to 9 on Power 107.5 FM.
So there's a condo developer, Chad, in Vancouver, Canada, who is building luxurious condos that start out at $300K. It's near a lot of restaurants, shopping centers, parks, and recreation and transient, for travel. And he's gearing it towards millennials. And here's the thing. He's offering a year's worth of avocado toast for breakfast or a comparable breakfast item for a whole year if millennials will buy onto it. It's $300K.
Well, I'm not a millennial, but if he'll change that to some biscuits and gravy and drop it to $100K, I'm in.
I mean, you just slammed it down Alabama style. I love avocado toast. Absolutely love it. And you can eat it so many different ways. But I'm not really sure is that a great offer to you as a customer? If you were a client and you wanted to move and buy a new place, your first place, it's a little expensive. Even with avocado toast. Hey, you just upped it. You upped the game with some biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy, man. You never know.
So you think it would be worth it if it was some homemade biscuits and gravy for a whole year? And it was $100K.
With sausage cut up in the gravy?
Yes. You to pieces. You're so hilarious.
Check out Brooke and Chad, weekday mornings, 6 to 9 on Power 107.5 FM.
Brooke, did you know that the average age of the American couch is... We should play Did You Know right here. We haven't played it in a while because
we haven't played it in a while because we got high-low going on.
So
we'll have to start that back.
We will. Let's do a quick one right here. What age of the average couch? What would you think? How old is the average couch, American couch?
Maybe 8 or 10.
That's pretty close. That's actually
10.
6 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Mine's 10. Mine's at least 10.
I think mine's about 8. Why do we not change them out?
Because they cost $10 million. You can buy another house.
True. That's so true. We haven't changed. Ours desperately needs to be changed
too.
out.
If we want to talk about that, ours is a great. It's like the pleather. It's like the mix of a leather and
that's what
the synthetic or whatever.
Mine's leather.
Yeah,
mine's a leather one.
But ours has got some. We found some duct tape that matches the color of our couch to cover some holes. We're unashamed because it's still super comfortable.
Your couch is?
Yes.
It's crazy though that we don't replace them sooner than we probably should.
Yeah, we're going to.
But it's expensive, I guess. That's why.
Yeah,
I never thought about it till you just said that. $10 million.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell one of my cars and get us another couch. But, it holds The average couch holds around $1.55 and change. It has been cried on at least 17 times.
These are crazy.
People usually crying because they can't get another couch. No. It snapped on at least 36 times or more, played host and catch up with family and friends, the fellowship, for over 32 times. It has nursed through sick days, at least 21 days or more.
That's a lot of sick days.
Yeah.
I never think of that about it. That's true, though.
Yeah. And then 70% of Americans say their couch overall is comfortable, but either has fades or is totally outdated or some way needs to be replaced.
So it's not just me and you. It's more than half of Americans need to replace their couches. We need a couch, but we need to make a couch fund, like a little.
Let's get a little jar up here, and we'll start this.
And we can put our dollar, however much change you said. We can go home today, put it in a jar. You and I can start saving up with change.
That's
I'm being so
news.
serious.
Yeah,
we can get a change jar for couch replacements.
The good news, if you need to replace your couch, odds are you've got $1.55 to start.
It's Brooke and Chad, weekday mornings, 6 to 9 on Power 107.5 FM.
Fanny packs are back. Have you seen them anywhere?
Jericho, my oldest, loves fanny packs. She'll buy them up. She finds one she likes, she buys it.
I love that. I love that so much. So they were huge. You remember in the 80s
Yes.
and even on up to the early 90s, they were really big. They didn't start out to be a fashionable item at the very beginning. They were actually used to put all your stuff in, but then they became, cool. And
did they?
Sort of, kind of.
Did they, Brooke?
Chad. I love that.
Raising my eyebrows at you right now.
I know. Everybody wore them. Don't you
remember?
Saw
men would wear them.
Men and women. You never did. You didn't rock a fanny pack.
When I was a kid, maybe.
I want to see you.
I might have had
with a fanny
Mickey Mouse.
I want to see you pack. With a fanny pack on Monday. Or next week one day. Someday we're getting a picture. I love that you said not this guy. So thanks to Crocs, they've released a comfy and practical shoe with fanny packs on the back of the shoes. They have what they're saying is they put two of the most hotly debated fashion trends together, where it's comfy shoe, fanny pack on the back. Would she be a yay or a nay?
There is nothing
you don't
good about that at all. I have a pair of Crocs just because you do.
They really are comfortable.
I like to just slip them on if I need to run outside for just a second, whatever. Come back
You don't
in.
think they're comfortable?
I use them like house shoes. Like slippers. My Crocs are like slippers.
They're your slipper shoes.
But I am not putting Crocs on with a fanny pack and headed to the mall.
I'm about to hand you the picture of them because I have one. But would you wouldn't put your keys and some change back in the back of the fanny pack on your Crocs?
No.
You wouldn't? Why are you so against it?
Who does that?
There's a lot of people doing it, and it's going to catch on.
If a lot of people were jumping off the cliff, would you jump off the cliff?
No, I wouldn't, but you know that it probably will. You're not going to get on that bandwagon.
I will
Is it a firm no?
I will let that catch fire somewhere else and burn out. I'm not going to do it.
I love it.
Check out Brooke and Chad, weekday mornings, 6 to 9 on Power 107.5 FM.
So would you like to have a pet ostrich just running around?
Oh, yeah, every day, all the time. No.
Well, this is not an ostrich, but it's an emu. A family in New York State had an emu that spent the night in their basement. You know what an emu is. It's it's a big old...
It looks like an ostrich, don't it?
It's a big, large...
It's huge.
Zoo animal. That's what it is, basically.
It needs to be in the zoo, not your basement.
Yeah, large bird. They're not really pets, and so you don't really keep them indoors. Was wandering around this week, and Jennifer Oates, which I think her name is suspect to me because don't you feed birds oats? Maybe Jennifer Oates, is housing an emu. I think this is a code name. So
ain't nobody got time for that.
So she helped the police chase it down, and they brought it back to her home where it spent the night in the basement. It was transported the next day to Animal Adventure Park.
So where did it come from? That's what I want to know. And I mean, in New York State, it's an ostrich type bird running around.
Came from Animal Adventure Parks, where it came from, and it went back home.
Would you do that? Would you rescue it?
Yeah, I think so.
You Jimmy.
But just stay away from it because they got that real long neck, and they can just like
will
get after
hurt you. They can.
You got real serious. They will hurt you.
They can.
It's Brooke and Chad, weekday mornings, 6 to 9 on Power 107.5 FM.